Biological women need to realize you are the one that's marginalized. You are. And the way this game is played with the patriarch system is that it's because it comes from both sides. So the reason I put up my video that nobody will see, but I'm still leaving it up, about how much work the lesbian and the gay community started doing some 25 years ago in Dallas, in Texas, overall, all to get ahead. Like, I don't want to hear about your bullshit being inclusive crap, okay? That is not a marginalized group. It's much bigger than you realize, okay? But who controls tech? Who controls the information? They do, along with those on the patriarch side. You see how it works together to go after biological women. Here's why. So what this shows is public statistics break people into broad categories: LGBTQ+, women, transgender, etc., and then look at rates of discrimination, income, violence, mental health, and so on. Those data tend to show patriarchal patterns still overwhelmingly benefit who? Straight and gay men relative to women as a class. Trans people, especially trans women, which means especially trans women, that means biological men. So especially trans women, especially biological men, experience extraordinary high levels of violence, unemployment, and stigma. That's who they're saying the marginalized group is. Remember, I said that if it's a female that transitions to a male, they're not really accepted very much in that community. Not in the way that it works to help each other kind of thing. Not as much as, because they've gotten into the power structure of politics and everything. It's almost like they just want, and then they want it, like they will make exceptions. They will discriminate literally to hire somebody that's their own. They have these work events. Like it's such bullshit. So I'm so done, with this, I'm supposed to feel bad about the marginalized group. No, the trans women who are men, they're saying this only because it serves both sides. Do you see? Do you see how it serves both sides? Because most people would say this is the left, right? And then up at the top is the right. Do you see how in both places, who is being marginalized? Biological women. These biological men experience extraordinary high levels of violence, please, unemployment, and stigma. No, they're the ones that benefit from Texas and Silicon Valley, California in general, okay? Because they create these networks, okay? Like biological women, we've just been living in this world thinking, oh, this community just, wants everybody to be equal. No, they don't. No, they don't. And then you have this continuing AIDS problem, okay? Like, why is that happening? It's not happening with women. It's happening with men, gay or bisexual men. I mean, you don't hear about it much anymore, but that's part of what this whole community is too. So then add that probably the biggest category is you have bisexuals, okay? So that would be in both of these. Then you're going to have more of the spread of that. I'm not saying that like that's happening. It's just that's why they want all this money towards it. And it's like, why aren't you ever looking at what's going on with you? Seriously. Really. Because this isn't about being inclusive. This is men that want to say, oh, I'm experiencing violence and high levels of unemployment and stigma because I want to be a woman. That's what it is, because a trans woman is a biological man. That's what I mean, because it says trans people, but especially trans women, meaning biological men, experience extraordinary high levels of violence, unemployment, and stigma. But who's trafficked the most? Okay? Biological women, girls, okay? It's them, it's the male on both sides is what I'm trying to make people see here. The straight, but even the gay up here is part of, remember I said they've made people believe that the LGBTQ community, it cares about the oppression of women. No, it helps to oppress women, just like the patriarch does. They both serve each other. I hope that makes sense. That's why I don't have any patience for the bullshit anymore. Because what they're really after, more than anything, more than their desire of what they want, who they want to sleep with, more than their whatever their community is, their community is about cutting women, biological women, out as much as possible. Why? Well, it goes back to that this hate at women. I mean, it's not all men, but this is a very sick problem. Then your churches help that, especially your top, well, I would just say all of them, okay? Because, I mean, your top 3 in Christianity have a major systemic, they have this, especially that Catholic one, but that's Rome. That's where, all the problems began. They deliberately go after boys, okay? Because, again, there'll be a certain percentage that they know. These people are all about their statistics. So there's a lot more than you think. And sadly, there's been so many people. This is the reason why God wanted evil purged from the midst. And I mean with these people that abuse boys in these churches, okay? There needs to be like millstones. None of this, no, there's no fixing it. Everybody says that. There is no, they all just want, these are all people that just don't want to have to pay, they want to protect all that. Look at what happened with Newsom in California, and I think it may have even happened in Illinois, I'm not sure, but I know in California, all men had to do in the prison system was say, we're now deciding that we're female. We need to be moved to the women's prison. They moved them, and then those men went on to assault women. That's how much both of these groups hate biological women. That's what all of it is about. The LGBTQ 4, 5, 6, 8, 9 plus whatever it is, okay? Whatever crap they add to it, okay? That's ultimately what its goal is, because there's more of the trans women, which are biological men. Because again, if they're a trans male, that would mean that they were assigned female at birth and are transitioning to male. And if you read into that, you'll find they're not very accepted. They are to a certain extent, but not like the gay men and the trans women, which the trans women, they're not women, they're biological men. So the ultimate people that they're not only targeting and wanting to, take opportunities away from you, and just if any way that they can use, so the left will use, no, you have to honor, I'm a man, but I've decided I'm a woman and you better honor it. So biological women have to step back and say, oh, they're a marginalized group. Oh no, they are not the marginalized group. They get to play with the statistics. It's bigger than you realize. So, biological women, you're the ones that both the left and the right want to in some cases outright hurt, economically or in any way they can, depending on how sick they are, but both out to oppress biological women.